Hey guys, this is YT42 and welcome to Metroid 2, Return of Samus. I've been meaning to do this one for about 4 years or so, which doesn't seem like, well, it does seem like long, but feels like even longer to me because, I mean, it's constantly after a Let's Play's been finished, I keep thinking, oh, well, let's just do Metroid 2 now, and of course I go, no, let's do Super Mario World, or no, let's do Digital Devil Saga, and you know, that gets on your nerves after a while, and you think, whatever, let's just do it, let's just finish it off. And I mean, this and Metroid Fusion as well. After this finishes, I'll do Metroid Fusion, because I'd like to get all the 2D Metroids done. Well, aside from remakes, I know. No Zero Mission, no Samus Returns. But Metroid 2 itself, it's certainly much more linear than the first game. It's very, as you can see, it's pretty much just a corridor here that we're constantly going down. It does open up. It's sort of, well, the way it works is sort of, you have these corridors that link to these bigger areas, and in those bigger areas you have a few objectives that you have to take care of. And those objectives are take down any Metroids that are in the area. So let's probably get to the story, huh? So this takes place after the first game and after all the Prime games and all that, but that's not important. And then so after the first game, Samus has been sent by the Galactic Federation to take down the rest of the Metroids on their home planet SR388. And so this is what we have to do now. That is a clock, by the way. All 39 Metroids have to be taken down, so that's our mission. Now, if you're wondering if there's any strange things that might be happening, or first of all, why there's colour, and why it's not the greatest quality, that's because I'm recording this off the Super Game Boy. Well, I'm recording it straight off my Super Nintendo, so, you know, it's all authentic Metroid 2 cartridge and all that. So yeah, that explains not only colour, but a bit of the washed out nature of the game. Although I heard, well, there was some rumour a long time ago, because in some ad for the Super Game Boy there was a coloured Metroid 2 game, sort of like Link's Awakening DX, where it had a colour version. And then it was for this game, but of course none was ever released, so it's not known if there actually was going to be one. But anyway, this is a Metroid, and well, that was a Metroid. See, here in this game the Metroids are evolving, so it's no longer get the Ice Beam and shoot them with 5 missiles. No, now it's just shoot them with 5 missiles. They're actually easier. So that was an Alpha Metroid, despite the fact that it came after the other Metroid types, so I don't know. Just as you can see there, an earthquake started, and it may not look like it, but there's 38 left on the counter. But the earthquake signifies that you've taken out all the Metroids in the area, and you see the pink liquid, that's lava. Actually, I don't think this is lava, but it's supposed to be water. But you'll know lava when you touch it because it'll hurt. So before, there was just lava below there, but now, since the passageway, or since we killed the Metroid in the area, and we filled the quota, the lava has dropped, the lava level has dropped, and now we can go further into the depths of the planet. Which means more Metroids to take out. Lather, rinse, repeat. That's the whole point of the game. So, this song here, this is called Surface of SR388, and it's a very nice song. It's very adventurous. It's very upbeat. It's probably the only good song in the game, because the rest of it is ambience, you know, for what you can call 8-bit ambience. So, yeah, enjoy it while it lasts, because it's a fantastic song. I'm actually a big fan of the, because obviously you can't mention this game without talking about AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake, or Samus Returns, or, you know, comparing the two. But Samus Returns is... Well, Samus Returns' version of the song is good, but I was thinking of the Sunset variation of the song from AM2R, which I really like. It's very mellow. Also, yeah, now I'm low on health, so get ready to hear that buzzing until I get above 50 health points. But in terms of being a Metroid game, it's Metroid, you know. Only difference here is that Samus is huge, takes up a lot of the screen compared to the first game. And unfortunately, because of that screen crunch, it's actually harder to tell where you are in the environment without a map. You definitely need a map to get through this game, unless you want to make your own. I find it easier just to find a map online. Because it's too hard to navigate without an in-game map. Granted, it's not really like the environment, so there's not really any puzzles or any tricks that you have to do to get through the environment. It's just sort of, you know, pretty linear, pretty open. But it is much harder to tell where you are because of the reduced screen size and the fact there's no in-game map. So, and all the areas, I guess, sort of look the same because all the color palette is going to be shared. Because you only have 4 colors that you can have on the Super Game Boy. So you got pink, yellow, brown, and green. Those are the colors. So yeah, I think we're about to head into the first area here. I've actually got no idea because I'm not looking at a map and I'm not keeping track of where we are. But I think now we head into the first area. This first area has like 5 or 6 Alpha Metroids that we have to take care of. Before we can go back out to the central corridor and lower the lava level. So yeah, we better go do that. Also, yeah, this game will feel very quiet at points because of the lack of music, just the footsteps. If there's one of the things that I prefer about AM2R over Samus Returns is that there's actually background music. Well, for most of the areas at least, because in this game there generally isn't background music, which is annoying. And then Samus Returns tries to stay faithful to that, and sort of faithful to something like Other M, by just having sort of not ambient music, but just ambient atmospheric sort of tones, and it's very boring. Because if there's one thing I love about the Metroid series, which is, you know, it's really underrated for it, is the music, because it may not be to the caliber of something like Sonic or Shin Megami Tensei or something like that, but, you know, it's definitely underrated. Absolutely. So I'm just farming up health pickups here, it won't be too long. While I was playing this, I did have a map open next to me, of course, because I actually wanted to beat the game. And, you know, at times I'll pause to check the map, but obviously I've cut out any point where I check it. So if you see the screen flash for about a second or half a second, that means I've paused and I've looked at the map. So, yeah, there you go. So that's the save point right there. You can actually save in this game, thank Christ. So there you go. Oh yeah, this is a song that you'll hear often as well. It's not bad, but it's certainly no surface of SR388. Now, where would I rank this game into? Oh, well, first I should mention that this is post-commentary. I wouldn't do this live because I'm constantly pausing to check the map and all that, and that'd be annoying. So this isn't live. But what was I just about to say? Where would I rank this among my Metroid games? Well, I certainly rank it better than Metroid 1. Probably better than Prime Pinball. I've beaten every single Metroid game, so yeah, including Prime Pinball. Anyway, we got the bombs here. We got Chozo statues, of course. You know, just like standard Metroid, and there's a missile expansion down there. So I'll grab that, get 10 extra missiles. Instead of 5, so that's good. But yeah, I would certainly rank it better than Metroid 1, not better than Super, not better than Fusion, not better than Zero Mission, not better than Prime 1, not better than Prime 2, not better than Prime 3. Federation Force. See, I like Fed Force, but do I prefer it over this? I can't really I'd put them around the same area because this one I've actually beaten 3 or 4 times, and Federation Force I've only beaten once. I don't really have a desire to play it again. It's good, but it's certainly nothing remarkable. Here we have an energy tank. There's actually 6 or 7 energy tanks in the game, but you can only hold up to 5. So, you know, they sort of give you more than you can get. So, you know, say, oh, you missed 1 or 2 and you don't want to go back for them, well, don't worry, because we've got a few extras up ahead, which I think is really neat. It kind of makes it debatable as to whether or not they count towards the completion total, but, oh well. I think they do the same thing with missiles. I'm not sure, though. Also, yeah, a lot of the expansions are super easy to get. Look at this. We've got 3 in the same room and they're all just like this. To get this one, I'm pretty sure we need the high jump boots. Or a power-up that we don't have yet. He was going to try bomb jumping, but fairly certain it's not possible in this game. I think it wasn't until Super where you could start doing that, so... but it's this area here. We've got new power up there, but we can't get to it, so we've got to go back around. As I'll realise in a second. There we go. So, through there is like sort of the end of Area 1. If you look at a map for the game, then you can sort of tell, or you can see how areas match up and sort of see how throughout the game you'll go further and further down, then in the final areas you start to go back upwards. It makes a sort of loop. You know, it's not all interconnected like, I want to say the first game was interconnected, but it's not really. No, not really, because Brinstar was essentially your hub of sorts. Let's go, well, no, Brinstar was connected to Norfair and Kraid, and then Kraid wasn't connected to anything. Norfair was connected to Ridley, and then you just go to Ridley. And you go back up to Norfair, and then you go back up to Brinstar, and then to Turian, so it wasn't very connected. It's pretty much the same here, except it's even more linear. Super's when they started to have that interconnected stuff that I love so much. You know, if you want to get to Meridia, where are you going? Are you going to go through the wrecked ship, or are you going to go through Brinstar and break that tube? The glass tube, which I do every single time. So here we go, we come down here and we get the Spider Ball. Now the Spider Ball is actually a lot of fun. So what we do with it is we don't fall in the thing, whatever that's supposed to be, thorns or something. So what we do is we go into Morph Ball and we press down on the D-pad again, and now we get to climb through walls. We'll climb up walls, not through walls, but yeah, you just stick to walls. Which is really neat. It's very much appreciated. We found a secret there, I guess. I guess not. Metroid 2 has all sorts of weird little alcoves that don't really do anything. Like you go in there and there's nothing, so it's weird. But the Spider Ball itself, pretty fun. I do enjoy it, even if it is a bit slow. But, yeah, you can see as the Metroid was just slightly off screen there. They don't actually start to attack you until you get close enough to them, so they just sort of sit there, which means, you know, one, it's beneficial for you because you can prepare for them, and two, it also means that you can shoot a missile in advance. That way you shoot a missile and then you start to run towards them, and they'll get activated and then they'll take damage. You can't hurt them with missiles while they're stationary, because they just don't count as being there. So, don't do that. Anyway, I'm pretty sure at this point I'm just looking around for any sort of missile expansions or energy tanks. There's a few areas that look like this, and that specific tile that I just bombed usually has something in it. So, always go for it. It keeps going upwards until you get to this sort of corridor section, and it resets. So yeah, there's this corridor sort of section up there with the morph ball, and you can grab something. It usually depends on the area, because a lot of areas have rooms like this that are almost exactly the same. So go ahead and look around, you might find something. This is what I was talking about here. I guess I'm too scared to let go of the ceiling in case one of them is a hollow, or just, you know, doesn't have collision or something and just pushes me down. It's not really a Metroid 2 thing, more of a thing starting with Super, with the crumbling blocks. At this point I give up and just go for it. And there's nothing up here, how lovely. So there I pause the game. That'll happen every now and then. But yeah, I'm excited to, quite frankly, finish this one and move on to Fusion. I love this game, but, you know, commentating over it I knew it was going to be a bit of a struggle, and you know, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of post commentary, you know, especially after Mystery Dungeon, because that was very much a slog. But you know, it's not too bad. And you know, I have to do another one with this being Metroid 2. I just think, you know, I've never been a huge fan of post commentary or just doing it myself. You know, it's fine to watch. It's fine to watch someone who has done post commentary, but doing it yourself, I like doing things live. Because then you record the game, you think, well, I'm not done. So yeah, that's kind of a drag. But I think after this I won't be doing another. Well, first of all, here we got the ice beam. Works exactly the same as it did in the first game, so you know, shoot at enemies to freeze them, and gotta shoot at them again in order to damage them. So yeah, it can be considered weaker than the regular beam, but it's still useful. It's not beneficial over any other beam to take down Metroids though. But yeah, after this Let's Play, I don't think I'll ever do another post-commentary Let's Play. That's for a particular reason, but I haven't done that update video yet, like I need to. Because it's a very, very important one. But yeah, I won't be doing any more post-commentary Let's Plays because they're just dull. In fact, after this I do Fusion, and then I'd like to do Halo 3 by the end of the year. But I don't know if I'd do it so soon after Halo 2. I also want to do the rest of my favourite games of all time, that being Melee and Mario Galaxy 2, because I've already done Super Metroid and Pokemon Gold and Silver and Sonic Adventure 1. Those are my other favourites. But you know, I don't know if I'll be able to get through. Melee I'll be able to get through, no problem. Because it's not that long. But Galaxy 2 it's like 30 hours. Takes quite a while. So, I don't know if I'll actually be doing that one. Other than Halo 3, I can't think of anything else that I really want to do so badly. I mean, obviously there's sequels, like I could do, I don't know, like Ocarina of Time or something, but not before Zelda 2. That's on my bucket list, is beat that game one day. But don't mind me just getting a bit of health here. Kinda need that. So yeah, I'd say we're almost halfway done with Area 1.